They had a few camps. They had basically the death camps. I mean, there was this sort of... If their plan was... You can go this way and go into an oven, and you can go that way, and you can go do hard labor until you die. Because, good luck digging a mine shaft on 400 calories a day with dysentery and lice. And their whole thing was... we're not really going to feed you. We'll just work you, and then when you die, you just die. And
they used all parts of the Jew.
Yes, that'll be it. No, these were GIs. These were American GIs.
Oh,
so they wanted to find the Jews in the group. Wow. And the thing that's tough is your dog tags have your stuff stamped so they can bury you properly. And of course, the crafty Germans were looking at that. And as I always said, whenever you see one of these Holocaust things, you're just like, we should bomb them again. We really should.
Well,
they didn't get enough shit. That fucking
isn't it really more appropriate to go? Okay, it's a new, multiple generations later. We have our new version. It's in another part of the world. Mm-hmm. The ISIL is really the same thing. It's a people have bought onto this crazy thing that's brutal and horrible.
I got a better plan. Yeah, I'm hearing you, but I'm thinking my own thoughts because I didn't do homework. All right, Germany. You got to clean up this whole ISIL bullshit.
Yes.
You fucking owe us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now let's
make it right.
Yeah, well, you got a fucking tab.
Yeah. You're on the minus side of the ledger.
They did the whole thing where it's like, and nothing was worse than Hungary. They pulled those trains, those cattle trains, right into Hungary, and I was thinking about my poor grandpa and his brother Bela and Bougie and everybody, and it loaded them right on up and right on. Right. And, by the way, they didn't go in from the train and take a few weeks to acclimate to the new environment. Just got off the train, got into the oven.
Why
send the next train? I don't know why they were taking it out on Hungary, but I don't know, it was a sort of convenience thing, a location thing, whatever it was.
Well, what year was it? A desperate end of the war thing at that point?
Yeah, I mean, we're probably getting in 44, 45. Yeah. They have the ghettos there, and it's easy pickings. They load all the Jews up into the carts, and they put them all into the cattle, and they just take them, and they just get right off. And I guess unless you're 14 and male and looks kind of virile and strong, if you're a woman or a child or a man who's, go to the oven. And you watch that and you go, God damn. I mean, you think about, as I think about my grandfather, imagine, for us it's a bunch of black and white footage and it's kind of this million years away and it's almost like looking at a cartoon, but imagine my grandfather's just living in Hungary, and he's got his sister, and he has his family, and his business, and his stuff, and all of a sudden these guys just start coming in, and it's not like, well, we're going to seize your property, or, you're going to have to go to this Japanese-American internment camp, and we're going to take your property, and we'll let you go, and we're done. We'll fuck with you, but no, we're going to an oven. We're getting on a train. We're going to an oven, and you're probably just like thinking, like, how's this helping you win the war? You're burning all these fucking calories.
Yeah, if anything, it's distracting.
You got a whole bunch of guards that should be up on the front lines, and all they're doing is valuable resources, so you can make sure that I die, and then, by the way, the war ends in 9 months. But the 9-year-old boy's all going to fucking die. Everyone's going to die, and then the war will end in 4 months or 9 months or whatever. Things are liberated. Like, how fucking pissed would you be? First off, how insane is it? And then how pissed? Okay, so the ISIL-ISIS thing. I'm all for this. Let's just say to everyone, let's agree to what the tab is. The societal tab. You've run up Germany. You've run up a pretty good tab. Pretty good tab. And I would say that, after we'd won the war, it's not like we moved in and took every place. We got you back up on your feet. Now we buy plenty of BMWs and Audis. I'd say we've been pretty good for guys who conquered you. God forbid it had been the other way around. So here's what we're going to need you to do. And, we can, I'll tell you what, we'll close one Holocaust museum.
Wow.
For each, sleeper cell you take out or you disrupt or whatever. But look, you guys are Germans. You know how to fucking fight. You're well equipped. You have a pretty good looking army. You're over there in Europe. Now, this one's on you. And, our friends Hungary and Poland, I think it'd go a long way. It's not gonna heal the wounds, but I think it's a step in the right direction.
Put a good word in for sure.
It's a good gesture.
Allison is an enthusiastic supporter.
I'm into it.
Well, wouldn't we just kind of like that? Like, we'd all go, well, Germany, you got a bunch of guys who know how to fight and a bunch of good equipment, and you're, over there. You're not in there, but you're closer than we are, and go take care of your bar. Settle that bar tab.
Yeah.
Settle it up. Go ahead. Make amends. Why not? Well, why the fuck is England doing it? You know what I mean? Like, why are we in England on the fucking hook? Let's go get France. Let's get Germany. Let's go find Italy. Let's go find the ones, Japan. We're going to need you. Okay. Here's what we're going to need. Poland, sorry, you rolled over a little too quickly. I need you to step up a little. You don't have to be the tip of the spear. But first, let's just find all the colossal assholes. Brazil.
Oh, Argentina, all the
Argentina
places that house all the old Nazis.
You guys did a lot of housing.
Wouldn't get
Well, maybe some of the old Nazis could get in on this.
Yeah, and it gets funded by Krupps and some of these other German companies.
Braun,
Mitsubishi was making zeros for Japan. You guys got to step up.
Yep.
You cut a check.
Switzerland, you're neutral. No, you hit Hitler's goals. Get in there.
Yeah. We'll get a whole list together of like who owes how much, what the tab is.
You know what's weird? You said about the being like old black and white footage from 1945. You were born, what, 1962, 63? 64. So a whole 19 years after that?
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, 19 years ago we were doing Love Line on MTV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how much time passed between your birth and the end of World War II.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's weird how simultaneously far away and a long time ago and historical, but also not, it feels. Because it's another language, it's black and white, like you're saying.
Yes.
It is a long time ago.
It's not a long time ago, that's the point.
Right.
It really is
right,
not.
But I mean, I think it feels to us, people who learned about it in school, like it is.
All right.
But then,
do you guys like my plan?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, well, Allison does.
Well, I think
I had relatives.
there's the financial part. Like I said, a lot of the companies, a lot of the countries that harbored the stuff took the goal. I saw Monuments Men.
Okay.
I know what's going on.
The strict historical documentation.
We've got to
That's what I'm
support
saying.
our Armenian friends and get the Turks in there in a more.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Just give me a globe and a bottle of scotch and a Sharpie. That's right. I'll figure out who's on the hook and who's not. But I can tell you this: U.S. of A., England, take a breather. Fucking
Send us one out.
have a cold one. Relax. There you go. Mexico, if you want to join in, as long as you're supervised, I think that'll be fine. There's no problems there. We appreciate the effort.
Maybe
All
just
right.
send a bunch of workers in and play their music real loud. And,
play ranchero music. Yeah, Canada, I got to do some thinking on too. I don't think they're on the hook, but I'd like to see them contribute just a little bit more. But let's work this out. We'll get rid of this ISIL and ISIS at the same time. Both of them. All right. Shall we do a little news, Allison Rosen?
Yes, well, speaking of ISIS and ISIL, a new beheading video came out. It shows the head of Peter Kasich, an American aid worker and former soldier. And initially, it wasn't confirmed whether this really was him. They were claiming it was him, but then Obama, came out and said it really was him. The video shows the aftermath of a beheading. He was 26 years old. Obama said Kasich, quote, was taken from us in an act of pure evil by a terrorist group that the world rightly associates with inhumanity.
Are they on the surface of Mars? Because I'm looking at this picture. Is that
like
a rover in the background, upper left?
I believe so.
Oh, wow. They must have a great green screen there.
This video is a little different than the other ones that it came out. It's a lot longer. It's 16 minutes. It does not include a statement by the victim like the other ones did. And there's some.
Why is it so long?
It shows other beheadings at the beginning. There's edits in it as well.
Oh, good. There's like a.
And Gary, don't show me anything.
Like a card, like a beheading card, and that was the main event was Peter.
Yeah, it shows
ridiculous.
in graphic detail the beheadings of other men who militants say were pilots for the Syrian government. And also, this one is different because it has edits. So someone got iMovie.
It's like the AIDS workers, the people are there trying to fucking help out. It's so fucked up. And I don't know. Drew, what do you think? There's this, every time I hear people who know a lot more than I do argue about this, there's never a right answer. It's well, look what we did. Well, since when did we go in over there? When does that do anything? And I'm just getting to the point where It's like when my buddy Chris and Ray used to go into the bathroom together, and they'd invite me to come in.
You know, no good could come of it.
No. I'm going to get hit in the ear with shit. So you know what? You two go in there and fucking duke it out, you retards. Yeah. And that's my feeling. Like I don't. It doesn't seem, as I've said many times. There's like, well, these are fringe groups, and a complacent nation or what have you. But it's like, as I've said...
That's what Hitler was, by the way.
Well...
He was a fringe group that took power.
It's your job as a nation, just like we have a bunch of white supremacists who live in Plentywood, Montana, who think it'd be a good idea to burn the White House down. We don't let them do that as a society.
No, I understand.
We will not let them do that. We'll go Janet Reno on their fucking ass.
Ray, or we shouldn't go.
No, I think... Look... There's enough people in that society who agree with many of the actions of these people. They may not involve themselves in it, but they're certainly not policing themselves, and they're not combating it. So they're at least
duplicitous.
Yeah, I mean, here I'm happy to say. And in most nations, if a group just wanted to go on a sort of beheading spree, we as a collective nation, and I think you could say this about most nations, would go, hey, we're going to put an end to this. We can't let the lunatics take over the asylum. Well, they're letting the lunatics take over the asylum because I think the asylum is sort of with them. Or at least with them enough not to do anything about it.
So,
and even when the people argue about it on Bill Maher, they're always like, well, this is a small fringe group, and then a much larger group of people who aren't doing anything. It's like,
who is it though that you feel like should be stopping them? Is it the citizens who are unarmed, or is it their government?
It's not going to happen.
The notion that this gets traction. You know what I mean? That these groups...
Yeah, but that's how historical events develop. People always stand by and go, how is this possible? How did Hitler's group take over Germany? They were so reasonable people. How could reasonable people...
I think Adam is saying let's learn from history and stop them.
Well, that's right.
How? I'm now let them all kill themselves. I don't care anymore. We can't do anything.
But you think that people there should stop them?
It'd be nice... Yeah, just like people everywhere stop everyone.
You don't think they're going to just head on over here soon enough?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to do something.
Wait, is that what you think?
Well, in some fashion. There'll be something over here for sure.
Well, I think they'd like that, yeah. But then it's
this is a bigger, worse Al-Qaeda.
But here's the problem. The problem is... Everyone says, no boots on the ground, but something's got to be done. And it's like,
well, I think that's...
How are you going to do something without boots on the ground?
I think that's gone.
No, it's not.
You said over 1,500 troops.
They're not troops. They're
advisors.
Or whatever. But the military basically says, look...
Hey, by the way, but when you have an airstrike, somebody's got to be on the ground directing that strike. Well, so no boots on the ground is bullshit just from at the outset. Or just planes. Well, who's directing the strikes?
Well, a guy with a joystick in Muncie.
No. Oftentimes it's this guy.
All right, but we have a huge problem here, which is if enough people on this planet, in a nation or in a region, think a horrible idea is a good idea, it's going to be fucking hard to stop it. That's the problem. And our problem is we think like we think all the time, which is, look, just get rid of this horrible dictator. This is a democracy. It's going to be awesome. Everyone can go to school. Everyone can learn to read. You can pay some taxes and make some money and go on a vacation. It's going to be great. They're not interested.
Right.
And I think historically they've proven they're just not interested in what we inherently know is good. And I think it's sort of like, you're going on a run and you're going, oh no, I'll order all the food. I'll get just what that person loves. But it's all stuff that tastes good to you. It's all stuff that you like. That person doesn't like any of it. It's not going to have any of it. And you can't imagine it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what? The sesame chicken is awesome. It's awesome. And no, not into it. I don't know what the answer is. I think I would like the rest of the world to really jump in on this.
Oh, of course.
But they never seem to. Everyone seems to be looking at us. Either way,
we're the one with the target on our back.
is there any way that we're going to go over there and clean this up, or are we just going to have to let them kill themselves?
I have no idea.
All right.